Welcome everybody to the Self-Empowerment Talk Show for this special summer solstice edition. And it's going to be, here I have my co-host, Christina Gauda.
Hi.
Michigan. Welcome, Christina. And she's going to ask me some questions from the mat. And we have a few audience members as well. I'm just going to put you guys on gallery view so that you guys can give a little wave to the recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to our show. So let me put it back on speaker view so that on YouTube it will show just me, Christina.
All right. I have a question from the mat of the Minimalist Yogini.
Yeah.
My question is, what does alternate nostril breathing accomplish?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So first of all, alternate nostril breathing is a breathing technique called Nadi Shodhana, and that's the Sanskrit name for it. What it accomplishes is it balances the nervous system. It balances specifically the brain, and it helps to calm the nervous systems from overwhelm. It can be, I would say, an almost immediate effect after doing at least 5 rounds of alternate nostril breathing or Nadi Shodhana. And I actually recently used this technique when overwhelmed, chatting with my sister. Actually, I had quite the phone call, so I had to really calm myself down, and Nadi Shodhana really worked well. So it just helps to bring the blood pressure down. It also calms and balances your breathing so that you don't go into sort of a fight or flight response.
Can you show us how to do it?
Yeah. So if you guys want to do this together with me, you want to make sure that you're in a comfortable seated position, because just in case you get dizzy, it's really important to make sure you're seated, because we are manipulating our breath. This technique can also be paused if you're finding it a little too overwhelming just doing the technique itself, but it in itself, it should help with overwhelm. So when I'm overwhelmed, I find it easier to find the index finger and middle finger on the forehead. So it actually just brings you to the present moment, so you can feel yourself touching your head. And then you're going to use your thumb and your ring finger to alternately plug the outside of your nostrils lightly, like so. Okay, so the way that you do this first is you can hold on to your elbow just so that you're not fatigued. And you're going to exhale all the breath out of your nose first. Then as you inhale, you're going to plug the right nostril with your thumb, breathing in until you fill up with breath slowly. And then here, you're going to plug both nostrils with the ring finger and the thumb for 3, 2, 1. Then exhale, release the thumb, and exhale out of that nostril. Then inhale through the same nostril until you feel like you're filled with breath, and then plug the nose with the thumb again and your ring finger. 3, 2, 1. Exhale out of the left nostril, letting go of the ring finger, and then inhale in through the left nostril slowly, maybe for a count of 3, and then plug the nose, and then for a count of 3, hold the nose. And exhale out of the right nostril for 3, 2, 1. Then inhale, same nostril, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, left nostril, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, same nostril, 2, 1. Hold it, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, right nostril, 2, 1. Inhale, right nostril, 2, 1. Hold it. Exhale out of the left nostril. Inhale into the left nostril. Let go of your hand. Inhale through both nostrils and out through the mouth. And notice how you feel. Notice with that pattern of 3 inhales, held, exhales, the alternate nostrils. So it's an upside down U shape of path of breath. So you're inhaling up to the top, then down, and then inhale up, and then down again. So you might find that you might need to clear your nose with some tissue after manipulating the nose. So feel free to do that if you need. And what it does is it helps calm the nervous system by working with the pathway of the brain's bridge, which in neuroscience we learn is the corpus callosum, right? So it kind of allows for that connection of the left and right hemispheres of the brain through the path of breath, and it follows the path of the corpus callosum in the brain. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can also do it with your index finger and thumb if the ring finger, the thumb is too much. You can just do that as well if you don't want to plant the fingers on the forehead.
But you want to picture the letter U?
Yeah, picture the letter U upside down, an upside down U. That's the shape of the breath path. Okay. And that is the alternate nasal breathing. So.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
Not really. I find it useful.
Yeah.
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 So okay. It's a great one. Yeah, it's very useful. And I know all of you from the laughter yoga community. So I've taught laughter yoga to all 3 of you before, and laughter yoga is simply a breathing technique in the form of laughing. So you guys have experience and practice in the pranayama part of yoga, which is breathing techniques. So this is just one of many different breathing techniques as well, just like laughter yoga is a breathing technique too.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
That was a good question.
Yes, Brenda.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. Although I have at times, been places where people say, well, just, breathe in, hold it and hold it and hold it, and then breathe out. And then breathe in and hold, and breathe out. And that just does it. But I think this is more micro managing it, which is good. It's good.
Yeah. The technique you were talking about is also another good technique too. One that you use both nostrils to breathe in, but exhale through the mouth slowly. And that also can help calm the nervous system. I forget what that technique is called. Yeah, so it is a technique in itself too. Yeah.
I find that when I'm doing difficult poses, which is all the time because I'm so new at yoga, I don't have the luxury of going to a yoga studio because Michigan's out of control. Nobody's wearing a mask. It's just one big free for all here. So I'm really scared to go to the gym, especially because I'm of Indian origin, and almost everybody who has any Indian background knows someone who has died of COVID, because it's really bad in India. So I feel so disjointed and disconnected. We went to a restaurant today and just to get the day going, and so we wouldn't be bogged down with household responsibilities. And I was the only person that walked in with a mask. The waiter didn't wear a mask. None of the patrons were wearing a mask. And our numbers are okay. Like, we were 9,000 in March, and we're now at, I think, 132. So people think we're done the pandemic. So Yeah, so I'm having a really difficult time. And every time I talk to Helen, I'll say, do you feel comfortable going into the studio? Because I don't. And so I've been doing yoga online. I do yoga with Adrian. And if you have Apple TV or a smart TV, they have yoga downloads. And of course, the poses are really challenging because you don't have the luxury of having Helen right there. And I don't know the logic of how yoga poses change from one to another. Like, is it contraction you inhale? How does that work?
Yeah, so usually with an extension of the body is the inhalation, and flexion of the body, or more when you're coming closer to muscles or your bones, or if you're finding a grounding in a pose, the exhalation is where that happens. So when you're inhaling, you're more moving towards changing your body to lengthen your body, or extension. That's the anatomical physiological description of what that is. It could be in the form of reaching up to inhale, or to find a back bend for an inhalation, or to find a contraction back bend if it's something of a nature that, like locust pose, for example, or cobra, where not only are you finding, the chest open or back bend, but you're also holding the posture. So it's contracting and creating strength in the core, your back and your abdominals. So when you're talking about exhalations, you're thinking forward folds, for example. When you're closing that forward fold, you want to exhale instead of inhale. But once you stay in the posture, then yes, you can definitely breathe in it. And then once you come out of it, you want to root down your feet and inhale, come out of it in a safe way, maybe engaging the belly button in and up, or depending on the pose, if it's standing or if it's on the ground. But usually, yeah, extension is the inhalation to movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think you clarified that, because when you're distracted and you're just trying to get into the pose, and then they say, okay, inhale, do this. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Really important, like especially with now that I'm training people to be yoga teachers, we teach them about how important foundation is prior to breath and movement. So it's foundation, breath, and movement. So if you say inhale, move to this, you're a teacher who's not giving people foundation to prepare for success, to do this successfully. So you want to first call out a foundational cue, such as root your feet down. Now inhale. So, or legs are strong. Now inhale, reach up. So it's very much like even in laughter yoga, there is the like have a seat and then inhale, reach your arms up, right? Exhale, lower your arms down. Feel grounded in your seat. Inhale, reaching up, exhale down. And even holding the breath could also be something that's grounding. And then exhaling further, feeling the posture in laughter yoga, for example. So there's different ways to like find foundation. And that's really important. So if foundation is missing, or it's not already, if it's not called first, and then the repetition happens, then that can really create a shaky ground or foundation for students to transition. So very, very, very important to transitions as well. So.
Good. Those were my questions. Did anyone else have any questions?
Do you have a comment there, Muhammed?
No, I don't have a comment. The first time coming on after a long time. So I'll have to digest it and, on the website and learn some more.
What's your favorite yoga?
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't done yoga in the past. Although I do see people on mats sometimes when I go out walking.
Good.
but I never had the chance to join a yoga club. But I found it interesting, and I guess something that will suit my activities.
Yeah.
So hopefully I will join one of these days, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
I welcome you to try one of my classes too someday.
So what's the difference between Hatha and Yin, Helen?
Yeah, so Hatha is a more active version of yoga where you're strengthening and you're finding balance and also conditioning of the body. Maybe there's the heart rate goes up a little bit with some cardio, depending on the sequence of postures. So it is movement-based Hatha. Though at the end of the class, there could be more holding of postures to sort of cool down the body. And then it finishes with Shavasana, which is the final relaxation. With Yin, you're doing all the postures all from the mat, and you're either sitting, laying down on your back, your belly, or your side. And there's use of props to help support that posture that's held for a long period of time, between 1 to 5 or 6 minutes. With Yin, there's the focus on fascia and connective tissues. So the slow tissues that require patience to stretch. So there's no jarring movements or anything like that in Yin. There's no strengthening involved. It's all about fascia and connective tissue. So if you want to, I guess you could say, increase your flexibility in your joints and your muscles, then Yin would be the style for that, because it focuses mainly on those kind of tissues that get really thick and tight.
And then Vinyasa?
Yeah, so Vinyasa is a form of Hatha. Vinyasa is going from pose to pose, and there is usually a sequence of an arc of a class, which starts with arriving on your mat, going to warm up, conditioning poses, such as cat-cow, to sun salutations A or B, and then there's usually a peak pose, which is what the previous conditioning poses are bringing you to. And then there's a cool down period. So that's where the arc is. It cools you down with some other more forward bends and reclining postures, such as reclined twist, for example. And then finally you're laying down into final relaxation. So there's an arc to Hatha and Hatha Vinyasa classes. So
I'm asking all these questions because there are deep discounts for yoga studios here. And you know, like I sent an email and I said, you know, I'm interested. A lot of gyms closed, gyms and restaurants, you know, got really hit with the pandemic.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to build new ones. And they're like, what do you like? And I said, whatever's on YouTube. So they're like, well, do you like slow burn? Do you like sculpt? And I was like, I feel sculpted all the time. I am not at the stage where I'm done this fitness journey, you know, like, yeah, doing a Cobra for me. And I'm like, oh, wow, my arms feel jacked. They may not look like it, but they do. They feel like it. So, yeah, I was just wondering what everybody's favorite kind of yoga is. Brenda, what's yours?
Well, you know what? I only do one kind of yoga. So my favorite is laughter, because that's the only one I do. But I was going to say, oh yes, well, I love to laugh. So and a friend invited me along and to Helen's class at the library, and it was just great. I loved it. But I was going to say, you know, I became aware of my breathing while I was golfing this week. So I realized that what I do, it's something like what you just said, Helen. I get myself situated, you know, my feet in the right position, everything. So I've got my foundation. And then I take in my breath. And while I still have my breath, I do my stroke, and then I let the air out.
Yeah.
And that just seems natural.
Right.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it makes sense to have all those three components to a successful transition. And you could take it anywhere, you know, as you said, you can take it on the golf course, you can take it anywhere that you need to feel balanced and just being able to execute something properly, like without having shaky ground. Like if you have no foundation or you're not really aware of the foundation, then you know that could lead to unsafe actions, I guess you could say. Like you could either, you know, find a missed movement or whatever it might be. So yeah, it can translate like yoga basics, I guess you could say, can really translate to off the mat as well.
I wanted to add something is that, like Brenda, a friend invited me to Helen's class once. I actually never met Helen because someone was replacing her that one particular time, but I fell in love with laughter yoga. And I've also done yoga in a class, but I never knew what it was until tonight. And I listened to the descriptions, and what I do is Vinyasa yoga. I just learned that. I do it on my own now, like all the poses, but it's good to put a name on it. I like them both. You know, regular yoga is good for your body, but I find laughter yoga is so good for just for your mood and for like being able to laugh more freely. So
your whole well-being, like that's where I feel it. My whole well-being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Good.
No, for
Good.
sure. And so we've got a couple more minutes before we wrap up, but I would like to take this opportunity to actually, you know, if we could live do the yoga giveaway. I've got all these ballots, not many, really. There really aren't many, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prizes. These three are exactly the same, which are East Coast Bakery gift certificates to a local bakery here in Halifax.
Nice.
From my friend Jerry, who is the owner of the bakery. The next prize is a Wasabi House gift certificate, $20 gift certificate. And Wasabi House has 2 locations, one in Lower Sackville, one in Halifax. And then we have here a gift bag from Antoinette's Esthetics here in Halifax. Again, another friend of mine who actually gave me this kit pre-pandemic. So, this was something I was supposed to give away over a year ago, but I didn't. And what it has in it is travel manicure kit, loofah, bath bomb, headband, mini OP polishes, mini nail treatment, bobby pin matchbook, lip balm, SPF. So all from Antoinette's Esthetics. Nice
Great.
bag. So just shake it up. And I'm going to first draw for one of the East Coast Bakery. I won't look. Okay. Natalie, you just won.
Yeah.
I'm just going to write your name on it. Actually,
Is that the one on Quinpool Road? Because I think I know the guy who owns it. That's kind of funny.
yeah, Jerry is awesome.
That's who it is.
He's really cool. His excitability is very contagious. So he's passionate about a lot of things. All right. Next is another one of the East Coast Bakery gift certificates, and we got Brenda. Brenda.
Great.
So I'm going to write down Brenda's name on this second one.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's nice.
Great. I feel like I just need to give Muhammed something for coming to today's show. So if Brenda's picked again, because Brenda does have 2 names in here, then I'll give it to Muhammed. Okay.
All right.
Wendy Spence gets East Coast Bakery as well. I'll get in touch with Wendy. All right, Wendy. emailing her. Okay, and then we've got the Wasabi gift certificate next. Muhammed.
Thank you.
Muhammed, we've got some sushi and Japanese cuisine on the way for you. And I'll just, what I'll do is I'll mail this to you. Since you're in Wolfville,
Yeah.
I'll just mail it to you. There we go.
Yeah, thank
I'll just tape this on the gift certificate so that I know it's yours. And there's also a menu as well that goes with it, so you know what kind of cuisine that they offer.
Okay.
So you can review that before you come to Halifax someday to
Yeah.
take advantage of that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So
Great.
good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then Muhammad, and then we've got last one. This is our gift bag. Who does this go to? Oh, Brenda Clark again.
Oh.
Brenda, I'm
Oh,
gonna say that if I could pick another person, I know that. I mean, I should probably just honor this.
No. Carry on.
But you did win a prize already. So
I did.
I'm going to pick another person. See who's left here. Monique Hawks Frost. So she's actually in New Brunswick, I believe. So I'll have to send that to her in the mail.
Yeah.
And so
I liked that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way she'll get a nice prize over the summer. So I think the plan for Tina and I is to continue these talk shows come the fall. So you'll be getting some information on that probably late August for some dates that are going to be upcoming. And of course, an invite like I did for this month. And this particular show will also be available on YouTube once I edit everything and edit a few things and make sure that all of Tina's questions on the mat and your questions and comments are also included. And yeah. So
Thank you, Helen.
you're very welcome.
Yes,
And
thank you.
It was nice meeting all of you.
yeah.
Nice meeting you, Christina.
Yeah, have a great summer.
Natalie.
And we'll see you in September.
Yes.
Oh,
Just before you go, Helen, I want to tell you that I am doing the laughter yoga at the library on the 31st of July and the 28th of August.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Send me some of those details. I'll share it with the group.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Hope to see
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Have a great summer.
A wonderful summer solstice tomorrow. I think that's not tomorrow, 2 days from
Tuesday.
now.
Yeah, Monday.
Sunday, and enjoy that this weekend. It looks nice today. So
good.
Everybody.
have a great
Take
evening.
good care.